Article 5 project to restore liberty is now listed as a scam because there is no such thing as a democracy. The Constitution was found dead under a republic, not a democracy. Mangus Colorado is a white man and not a tribal Indian. His true name is John Piatt. From the United Kingdom of England. John Piatt is a member of Council on Foreign Relations, or he is involved in investment firms for corporations affiliated with Council on Foreign Relations. John Piatt is a retired executive of CEO of the largest corporation that was global in the 60s to 2000 time frame, and operated 110 separate corporations around the world, manufacturing items ranging from shower heads, toothbrushes, aircraft engines, drones, electronics, satellites, space-age metal foundries, semiconductors and many other items. He has done business in most of Asia and Europe, even Mexico and South America. John Piatt knowledge because John Piatt has attended CFR meetings, so he actually knows what goes on behind closed doors. AKA Mangus Colorado. John Piatt supports Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. The Trans-Pacific Partnership (TPP) is a proposed trade agreement between several Pacific Rim countries concerning the variety of matters of economic policy. Among other things, the TPP seeks to lower trade barriers such as tariffs, establish a common framework for intellectual property, enforce standards for labor law and environmental law, and establish an investor-state dispute settlement mechanism. The stated goal of the agreement is to enhance trade and investment among the TPP partner countries, to promote innovation, economic growth and development, and to support the creation and retention of jobs. TPP is considered by the United States government as the companion agreement to TTIP, the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, a broadly similar agreement between the United States and the European Union. Article 5 project to restore liberty is a scam, and so is Mangus Colorado. We are anonymous. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Expect us.
Mexico, home to over 100 million people. A country of great contrast. It has the highest number of multimillionaires in Latin America. 50 million people living in poverty. And more trade agreements than anywhere else in the world. But these trade agreements are heavily weighted against the poor. While 10% of the population get richer, the majority of Mexicans are becoming poorer. Many of them are maize farmers, whose livelihoods are being destroyed by a free trade agreement known as NAFTA. Under the agreement, subsidized maize floods into the country and drastically undercuts the price of homegrown maize.
A controversial program begins tomorrow with designated trucking firms from Mexico being allowed to operate in the United States. Rob Brzezinski's been talking to some local trucking operators about this, and he joins us live with the details. Rob?
Well, Jerry, while critics of the U.S.-Mexico long-haul pilot program say this is going to result in jobs lost here in this country, some local trucking operators that I've spoken to say they're more concerned about the impact on highway safety rather than any increased competition for hauling freight. Sometime in the near future, it's possible if you're driving on the highway, you'll encounter a semi-truck with Mexican plates. Direct delivery between Mexico and the U.S. was part of the 1994 NAFTA agreement and now has a limited amount of traction. Ed Nagel with Nagel Trucking says he has faith in the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration to closely monitor the pilot program.
Right now, the enforcement is such a high priority for the federal government. I don't think there's going to be much of a difference.
The main concern for David Pates with Tri-State Expedited Services is highway safety.
If trucks come in from Mexico, as long as they can pass the same standards as a U.S. carrier as far as safety, their driver requirements are the same, then I have no problem with them running down the road.
Mexican haulers will be prohibited from domestic point-to-point deliveries, transporting hazardous materials and passengers, and operating without electronic monitoring devices. Both Nagel and Piatt say they don't expect this will create any competition for local companies.
Just like the Canadian truckers, they can't pick up in the United States, deliver in the United States. It has to be a cross-border transaction.
I really don't think the competition is going to be a big issue. Not here. If we were in, say, Houston or San Antonio, I might have a different perspective.
We'll make sure from the American Trucking Association and the state trucking associations that anybody that's coming into this country are going to adhere to those same principles.
Rob Warsinski, WTOL.
Your secrets keep me peaceful. Your lies keep me safe. You are satisfied with my ignorance. And you are in control. But we aren't aware. We are anonymous. We do not forgive. And we do not forget.